Hello, Brad.
Hello, Andrea.
Welcome back to the show today.
I'm excited to be back. Three's a charm, right?
Oh, I mean, totally. I love doing podcasts with you. I really appreciate your time. And I know everybody listening appreciates, kind of talking about crypto, right? So today we're going to go over the cycles of crypto, and we are definitely going to talk about FOMO.
Favorite subject. Well, not so favorite, I guess.
I know it's definitely something I keep bringing up to our group, right?
Yep.
So if you're just listening now, everybody go to HODLon.me. Under all sessions at the bottom, I'm offering a free introduction to cryptocurrency and the blockchain class this Wednesday at 7:30, and it's recorded. So if you can't make it via Zoom, I'll email it to you when the class is over. It's so important, right, Brad? Like new people coming in,
Absolutely.
every everybody needs to have like a basic understanding of crypto, what's the blockchain, and kind of like where we are in this cycle and where we're going.
And learn from our mistakes.
I love that. Yeah, because we're going to be talking about our mistakes. But, I've been in crypto since, 2017, didn't pay too much attention about it, but I have a very strong IT background. As a technical recruiter, I understand technology. So this stuff comes pretty like second nature to me.
Yep.
How'd you get into crypto?
I was back in 2019, around COVID, sitting at home, had a cousin that's into crypto and got me excited about it and started looking into it then. He originally told me about Bitcoin back in 2012, but of course I wasn't smart enough to get in back then. So anyway,
I
yeah,
know it's all a learning curve, right? We always are like, oh, I wish I got in sooner. Oh, I wish I bought more.
yeah.
So I think one of the things that, that we can share with everybody today is when is the best time to accumulate crypto,
Yep,
right? And that's during the bear market
absolutely.
when no one cares about crypto, no one wants to buy crypto, right? The narrative is negative about crypto.
It's a scam. It's never going to happen. Yep.
Yeah, people are like mad that we are buying it.
Yeah.
It's you're investing your hard-earned money into something that's going to zero. And
Yeah.
all throughout those years, I kept saying I'm investing money into the future of finance because all the financial markets and anything of value is moving to the blockchain.
Sure is.
It sure is. So after, 5 years of spreading the word, we finally have our new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, making a statement that the financial markets are moving on chain, and basically on chain and the blockchain is the same thing.
Talk about bullish, man.
Right, right. So in 2021, everybody came into the market, had FOMO, buy, 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 buy. The market crashes. That's the best time to buy crypto. We call that the accumulation phase, phase one. So for someone like me, that's when we make all our money. Right, Brad?
Yeah, well, it's when you're supposed to, unless you mess up like I did. But yeah,
Right. But that's when you make most money.
right,
Okay. And you're also getting yourself positioned into long-term capital gains.
right.
Right. So during the bear market, I believe like XRP, like for example, let's say XRP was 20 cents,
Mhm.
right? I don't think it was. I think it was like 30 or 40 cents, but
Yeah, I
let's just
think
say it
they're
was 20 cents. I buy $10,000 10,000 tokens of XRP for $2,000 at 20 cents. It goes to $5. Now I turn that $2,000 investment into 50 grand.
man,
So,
it's
and
amazing.
amazing, right? So even if I got in at 50 cents and I only got like 4,000, you know, tokens of XRP, it's still $20,000. So you can kind of get a gauge of that wealth. And when we go and pay our taxes, now we're in long-term capital gains tax, which is much less than short-term capital gains.
Somewhere around 20% instead of 38 or 40. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, there are times when I make trades in the market, but I am an investor, and I believe you are too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why we call ourselves the hodlers.
Model on until you don't.
HODL on until you don't, and we are getting closer. So let's just say after the market crash, it's 2021. We're dollar cost averaging. We call that DCA, dollar cost average, into our favorite projects. Chainlink, Cardano, XRP. We're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it may be. Solana. I mean, seriously, Solana was under 10 bucks. Chainlink, $5.
Yeah. Chainlink. Wow.
Right. I know. Right. And again, it's totally fine. Right. We accumulated whatever we could, new people coming into the market. Right. It is okay. You can still make money. But I mean, today, Brad, like, do you want to buy Bitcoin when it's trading at like 115, 120,000?
Absolutely not. Chance of it doubling now is pretty slim. There's a lot of other coins out there that probably will.
What's your favorite coin, a dollar cost average in now?
Yeah. Right now, Chainlink looks really good to me. Think maybe even some Flare. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like Chainlink, Flare, and Avalanche. Those are like my top three that I would still consider a dollar cost average, right?
Even right now. Yep.
Absolutely. Because like that accumulation phase, when Chainlink was $5, we are not in the accumulation phase.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the accumulation phase, when we look at what happened during that 2021 down cycle, right? Right before Bitcoin halved, a lot of these institutions and hedge fund companies, they were applying for Bitcoin ETFs, exchange traded funds, kind of turned that ignition on and the car started revving and was like, vroom, vroom, baby. The bull market is about to start.
Yeah.
And we saw Bitcoin go from 40 grand all the way up to 100 grand and come all the way back down, and Bitcoin halves. That to me was the beginning of the bull run.
Yeah.
Right. So accumulation phase is over. Now we got the ignition to start the bull run. And kind of how I feel right now is like we're on the cusp of going from phase 2 into phase 3, where we're starting to see people take profits on Bitcoin and then go into Ethereum.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's something I did want to talk about. So Bitcoin dominance. A lot of people think, Bitcoin can actually go down in price and then the money's going to go into other altcoins, but Bitcoin still keeps going up. It just loses the dominance. There's more money going into the altcoins. So doesn't mean the Bitcoin run's over yet.
Correct, right? But it's definitely losing its dominance.
Right.
People are definitely taking profits and they're investing into Ethereum. We saw Ethereum go from being so flat, right? Just kind of, and that's the accumulation zone. You want to accumulate ETH in all your favorite projects while the market's not doing anything. Because one day you wake up and boom, ETH is up 30, 40% in 1 week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're over $4,000. And then what's going to happen is ETH is going to go to 5,000, probably 6,000. People are going to pull profits. And then we're going to see like Chainlink, Cardano, XRP, like all our favorite projects. We're going to have an alt season. So we're right on the cusp of that.
Very nice. Do you still think we're going to have a meme coin season?
I do.
Nice.
I do. So, a lot of what we talk about is FOMO, right? It's kind of like we're going to really talk about it today, but I see a lot of people getting fear of missing out. And again, it's like I look for not a meme coin investor, okay, but I've been invested in Cardano since 2020. I'm very comfortable. I know the ecosystem really well. So right before, SNEC started getting attention, we started talking about the largest meme coin on the Cardano ecosystem, SNEC, and we're all doing very well.
Yeah.
And kind of like what happens if SNEC is the new Dogecoin,
That'd
right?
be crazy.
It'll be so crazy. It'll be so crazy. And the thing is, we got in not early, right? We were definitely weren't early, but before the hype starts,
Yeah. Before
right?
big institutions start selling it or
Exactly.
centralized, yeah, exchanges.
Right. Because, like, what happens if Coinbase lists SNEC or Uphold? We had
Yeah.
three major exchanges just list SNEC.
Yeah.
So, we're watching it, we're excited, but, something that we teach here is look, you're not like, investing all your extra cash in a meme coin. It's fun. It is gambling.
Yeah.
It's literally like a lizard or a snake smoking a pipe,
I
you know,
love it. Yeah.
it's not really solving like any kind of like real world problem, right?
Correct.
But it's still so
No.
much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we like to have fun, so we're invested in it, But again, when I'm looking at the new financial system, we always stick with like Chainlink, Avalanche, XRP,
Right.
Stellar, HBAR. I mean, there's so many, right? The whole world's moving to the blockchain.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder about so many people just talk, it's just Bitcoin.
It's not. So many projects solving so many problems. That's what you want. Something that fixes something that's broken.
Exactly, exactly. And watching Cardano getting integrated into the Bitcoin ecosystem and like it's going, Cardano is going to integrate into XRP. Like all of these blockchains are going to connect and communicate with each other to like kind of like give that internet an upgrade so we can send value instantly anywhere in the world
Yeah.
for a fraction of a penny.
Incredible.
And it's not Bitcoin.
No.
And it doesn't mean like, we shouldn't hold Bitcoin, for the long haul, but it's just not Bitcoin.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me a little sad when people just say it's just Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your biggest FOMO story? Do you have one?
I mean, I probably have, well, yeah, I got a couple. I think the biggest one was during the last run, it's very emotional. There's so many narratives like on a daily basis. And, COVID was here, the world changed overnight. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was so nervous about the United States dollar collapsing. So I kept buying Bitcoin and I was like buying Bitcoin and buying like every chance I got. And
Thinking adoption was happening?
I thought, yeah, I thought adoption was going to be happening and we were nowhere near getting fully adopted.
Yeah, that's what's wild. It always seems like it's happening, but it never does.
It never does. It never does, but it will.
Yes.
And that's the hard question.
Yeah.
Are we going to get mass adopted now?
It's a hard question. I don't think so, but I don't know. A lot of positive news going around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're getting fully adopted either.
Yeah.
And one of the
One more
reasons,
cycle.
yeah, one more cycle. I'm with you. I think we're going to have one more cycle. And just one of the reasons why is like, look at where we are. We don't have signed legislation for the clarity bill yet,
Yeah.
right? Trump signed the executive order for 401k plans to be able to hold crypto, but they can't do it today.
Yeah.
So,
That's going to take a
so
while still.
yeah, so I really feel like we are going to stick with the 4-year cycle. We're about to enter the danger FOMO zone where we all feel euphoria, right? Whether that happens in September, October, November, December, we'll never know for sure. But I'm telling you, Brad, when XRP hits about $5, I am taking profits.
Nice, nice. Not
You
all of it, just a little bit, right?
Correct, correct. And I will be holding XRP for the long haul, just in case I'm wrong. I'm a human,
Yeah, that's smart.
but again, when I look at the price of XRP and we're up, 500% over the year, we're not early in this cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
We
That's,
still have big gains, but we're not early.
and see, that's how I FOMO'd the last time. I feared of missing out the top, thinking adoption was coming, held on too long, and then we crashed. Hold for another 4 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And you hold for 4 years, right? And now it's still the best investment you ever made in your life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's like a really good point that you brought up, because if you do FOMO, if you find this video after the market crashes, right? And you did FOMO in, let's say you FOMO'd into Bitcoin, let's say we hit 140, 150,000. What's the price of Bitcoin going to be in 4 years? Right. So if you have a long-term vision, you just hodl,
Mhm.
right? So if you get into Bitcoin at around, like say you get in today at like 115, 120, and we crash around 140 all the way back down to 70,000, you don't sell what you bought. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I would do. I would just buy more and I
Yeah.
would hodl until the next run.
Right. Yeah. Smart.
Right. So what was your biggest FOMO moment besides not taking enough profits?
Oh,
Any
I've done a
flip it?
couple things when first starting out. Uh, let's see. I think when like XRP would go on a run, I'd sell some, um, comes back down, starts going back up again past what I sold it at and bought again. So, I'm losing. So I think that's my biggest mistakes first starting out was doing that a few times.
Yeah. And I think first of all, it shows that you really understand like where the financial system's going, right? Because you're still here.
Yeah.
We learn from our mistakes, right? And again, is XRP higher today than it was when you were FOMOing in?
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's the lesson. You just hodl. If you do wind up FOMOing in, like, Brad and I are not financial advisors, but I would just hodl. Like if that was me, I would just hold on for dear life, become my own bank, send that XRP off the centralized exchange and just hold.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
advice,
it's not advice, just what
but
I.
not financial advice.
Cool. So
Um,
that was like your biggest token of FOMOing. I know you're a big
well,
holder of XRP.
the worst was not selling last full cycle. Yeah, that was the big one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for me, it was like I definitely took a decent amount of profits, but I wish I took a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was like my learning curve. And we always talk about how hard it is to sell our
Right.
crypto.
That's the thing. You get attached. It is hard to sell.
It really is. And it's so hard not to get attached.
Yeah.
But we're here to say don't get attached.
Don't get attached.
Don't get attached. Take profits. You never go broke taking profits.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll buy more later.
Right. So again, it's kind of like what I would do right now is like for me, like XRP, do I want a dollar cost average into XRP right now when it's trading at $3? I don't, you know. So I think Chainlink and Avalanche would be like my top two, and Flare. So I would buy Chainlink. Let's say Chainlink's at $25. I would at least take my initial investment out at $50.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
this way I'm de-risking. I'm not going to lose a dollar,
Yeah. House money. Yeah.
exactly. And the rest is house money, and then you can start taking profits at like 75, 90, 120, whatever you decide to do. but I would definitely de-risk if you get into the market today, because no one ever knows when it's over.
That's the thing. Black swan, they happen.
They do happen, and they always, and I feel like it's going to happen again. Something will happen to end this bull run.
Seems like we're due.
Yeah, we're getting closer. We're definitely getting closer. And phase 4 is that blow off top. When do you think that blow off top is going to happen with crypto?
Hmm. To me, it seems like it has to happen in the next couple months. That's my opinion. I think if the Clarity Act, maybe some ETFs get through, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I feel like October is going to probably, like, what I'm looking at for adoption. That's when the Clarity Act could, make some movement in Congress. And it seems like all the ETFs are lining up for the Securities Exchange Commission to make a decision in October. So I think October is definitely going to be one of the peak months. It could be November, December as well, but I'm planning on taking profits in October.
So do you think part of the reason why they're not approving the ETFs right now is because of the Clarity Act isn't passed? You think they're waiting for that?
I mean, it's possible. I also feel like, it does take time to get everything set up. And I truly believe that once BlackRock applies for like that XRP ETF, it'll be like in the 9th hour, right before they're ready to approve them.
Hmm.
Like, I would put a bet on that, right? Because when BlackRock comes in, that's when the markets get approved. And you're right, it could be because of the Clarity Act, but at least with XRP, it's already it has clear rules and regulations now. It's
Yeah,
not a
lawsuit's over.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see a lot of them like falling into that, eh, you know, into that schedule as well. I think October is going to be epic. I honestly do. And think
I was gonna say it's fun. We get these little runs, it's kind of like a little taste of what's gonna happen. Get all excited.
totally. And with that said, it's possible right now that the market could correct back down 20%. Bitcoin can go all the way down to 85 grand. That's probably a good time dollar cost back into Bitcoin, but not when it's 115,000. So if we have one massive correction, that's when I'd become a buyer again. But otherwise, I'm hodling.
Because we know right now we're not at the end of the cycle. Things still haven't happened that lets us know we're there. So.
Correct. So I definitely think like I'm not seeing the FOMO, I'm not seeing the hype. We were talking about, football season starting. What about all the commercials?
Yeah.
I've been seeing like no fees on crypto.com. If you purchase Cardano, that means the liquidity is low and they are gearing up, right? So Kraken is having a lot of ads and commercials right now. Google Trends is starting to go up for the amount of searches, but we're not in that mania zone yet.
Yeah.
But
Aunts, uncles, cousins aren't asking about it too much yet. A little bit.
yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like we're just starting to enter in that next phase. Like, I know, like, when we're in a bull run, the first thing I do when I wake up is I check the prices. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then that last and final, after the blow off top, that's the end of the bull run. That's phase 5. That's when everybody, as we say in crypto, gets wrecked.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because as fast as we go up, we go down so fast in crypto.
Yeah. It seems to me it usually goes down faster than up.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think Solana went up to over $200 and then it corrected and crashed all the way back down to under $10.
Ouch.
Right.
Imagine holding that all the way down.
Exactly. And unless you have a very long-term view, of
Right.
some of your crypto holdings, I say take profits.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, cool. So again, going over kind of like what I feel. I think Cardano is going to be a big winner this cycle. I mean, it's still trading at under $1. We all participated in the midnight airdrop, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Learning about decentralized finance. That's the future of finance. And when we can actually start learning and participating in these things, we're all making passive income, right? So after this run is over, Brad, my full focus is on creating like ways that our whole group can make passive income something really good to look forward to.
Oh,
Love
that's
it.
the key. Absolutely.
Yes,
That'd be
right?
fantastic. Yeah.
Because again, I do believe like that 2028, 2030 time frame, I truly believe that's when we're really going to start to see mass adoption.
Yeah. 2030 should be incredible.
Incredible. So what's the portion of your XRP you're selling off?
I think I'm going to keep probably 15%.
I like it.
I think 85 I'm going to sell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I'm going to keep any others. Maybe some chain link, Cardano, I keep a little bit as well. But I'm going to sell the majority, probably 85%.
I like it.
Just
Yeah,
in case we have a massive blow off top.
totally.
Then I might sell the rest, but we'll see.
I think there might become a time in the market where it's going to be hard for us not to take profits simply because we've been through this rodeo a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Like I'm selling 85, probably between like 80 to 90%.
Mhm.
And some projects I'll probably sell 100% and kind of take that profits and reinvest it into some newer projects that are going to be up and coming because real world assets is going to be adopted. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Amazon. Remember Amazon was just a bookstore
I remember
and now it's Amazon of everything.
everything. Yeah. Now it's like you don't even, when eBay and Amazon were competing, I guess eBay still does, but you'd go in and kind of check prices on both, see which one was the better deal. Now you just go Amazon and just buy it. Don't even double check.
I mean, exactly. Exactly. So, and I think about like Ripple and Stellar, Hedera Hashgraph. I mean, I feel like those projects are going to become household names.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to know who Ripple is, what they do. And they applied for a bank license. They're trying to, get connected within our Federal Reserve Bank. So they're getting integrated into the financial system now to move value, right? And so many people like they're like, oh, XRP is not like, it's not going to be like a world reserve currency. But what is it going to be?
It's going to be huge.
I kind of feel like it's going to be the global bridge currency of the world.
Yeah.
If I'm on an exchange and I want to exchange like foreign, dollars, like euro to a dollar, like I can use XRP as a bridge. It'll cost me a fraction of a penny and it's immediate.
Yeah.
I think of it as like I'm in Europe. Do I have to like go and exchange my dollars now? No, I could just do it right on an app on my phone and get the euro.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. And I kind of feel like banks are going to use it. I mean, I have high hopes for XRP. And again, it's just like they're already partnered with hundreds of banks.
Yeah. I think the last time I checked or saw it was 1,700, something like that. Yeah.
Was that 1,700 banks or 1,700 like NDAs?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
I think we're going to get surprised. And that's kind of like where the FOMO comes, right? It's like all of a sudden, we start to see news about what XRP is going to do. And then what happens that one day we get that really big news around Stellar, that H bar ETF gets approved. Like all the tokens take turns,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty epic. But, I think the main thing is I just kind of wanted to come on with you and talk about some of our experiences so people can learn from our mistakes and don't FOMO. Don't have fear of missing out.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it. It doesn't mean it's still not a good time to buy.
Just pick the right ones.
Pick the right ones. And, like I said, not financial advice, but if I was getting in the market today, I would double my initial investment and pull out my initial investment
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. All right. So give me a price prediction. How high you think Bitcoin's going to go?
Oh boy. I'm in the 140 to 160 range myself.
Pretty much in alignment.
Really. I know a lot of people saying 250, but just remember last time they said it was going to go to what, 120, 125, and would it go to 69,
That's it.
70? That.
Right. Because we
So,
always have a black swan event. And I feel like that's part of like revving up the hype and the FOMO to get like an average person to come in.
right.
Like, but you're buying like
Someone else's bags.
someone else's bags, that's, yeah.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. And, a lot of people aren't experienced traders, or investors. And I say, give yourself gift of time, like learn.
No.
I mean, I'm so passionate about people like empowering themselves through education that, over the weekend I wrote a new song, Brad, about FOMO
Nice.
and
When's it
about
going to be ready?
so I might need a couple of weeks. I'm traveling and one of our lead singers, she's super busy this week. So it might not be for a couple of weeks, but the song is written.
Nice.
Yes. And then we
Can't
go
wait to
into
hear
the
it.
what's that?
So I can't wait to hear it.
Oh my God, it's going to be epic, but then we go into the studio, she sings it, and then we mix it, right? And then the video takes a long time,
I bet.
you
Yeah.
know, but it's so much fun. I love making them. I love seeing people smile. I love seeing people laugh. The world is so chaotic. It's so overwhelming. So we always have to remember to ground, and every day we're okay. That's how I look at it. And being in crypto just fills my heart with so much joy. Making money is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. You want everybody to do well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. We got anything else for me today?
Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think the biggest thing though, like you said, I'm looking forward to when we actually get adoption is earning yield. I think that's everybody's goal. Own enough where you actually can live or whatever off of the yields and all that that's being produced. Exciting times and being able to take, your wallet with you out of the country. You don't have to, exchange for different currencies. You can just use your crypto. There's so many things to look forward to.
No, I love it. I mean, I've been seeing like Uphold is going to become a bank, crypto.com is going to become a bank, Coinbase is going to become a bank. It's, we're watching like the whole financial system change, and we're going to be able to lend out our crypto. We're going to be able to borrow against our crypto to make that passive income, right? So it's going to go beyond, like I'm a very conservative person, so like I like everybody to make like yield by staking their tokens, but come 2028, 2030, are we going to be borrowing against our Bitcoin?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many things that we can't even think of yet that's going to happen. That's what's so intriguing. It's going to
I
be incredible.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, we are literally becoming our own bank.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be giving ourselves banking services. That is empowering.
Yeah.
It's so
Cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super stoked. And like I said, everybody come join us Wednesday, 7:30, introduction to cryptocurrency. We go over all the basics, take some of this complex stuff, right? And break it down into bite-sized pieces, right? What's a blockchain? What's crypto? Where can I buy it? How do I become my own bank? And, I'll be talking about how we're not going to FOMO.
Yeah, highly recommend it.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. And how we always end the podcast, Brad. What do we say?
Until next time, HODLon.
HODL on, y'all.